everybody, ukpancakes here back in with another video. So I was sitting at my computer, masturbating and crying, as usual. And I was after I finished, I went to go watch Donkey and his newest video, the top 10 games of 2017. An idea came into my head. I was like, why don't I go through a list of every single game that came out during 2017 and just do a nice little retrospective of any games that I played or any games that were of significant value during 2017. So that's what I'll be doing today. I'll be going over all the games that I played during 2017 and all the ones that were significant in 2017. I'll be going over them for a little bit, giving my thoughts and impressions on it. So yeah, let's go on to January. So we'll be going through the list of January here, see if there are any games that I played during January that were good, or like any games that came out that were of significant value. I didn't play Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, but I did hear a lot of good things about it. Like, instead of Konami doing like the usual like very perverted slot machines and stuff like that, they actually made a game, and it wasn't a bad game. It was a really good game. It was Konami was actually getting their shit together with Resident Evil 7, and a lot of people liked it. And people are saying, oh yeah, Konami, they could actually, make good games now. Or like, they have, like, they're competent enough to make good games now. So, I wanted to mention that. And also, Yakuza 0. I heard a ton of things about Yakuza 0, specifically from, like, Angry Joe and stuff like that, and how, like, it was a really good kind of, like, martial arts game, because you do a bunch of like hand-to-hand combat. I heard that was a really good game, and like there's just so many different like little mini games in it. Just like there's so much stuff you could do, and like that was another really good game that came out this year. Conan Exiles 2, no, Conan Exiles 2. Conan Exiles, played the demo for Conan Exiles. It was really bad when I played it. I looked up a couple of reviews for it, and I was like, oh, this game sounds good. And so I got the demo for it. It was really, really just fucking bad. It was just complete just garbage. Like, it was really glitchy. It looked bad. Like, the combat was like shit. I couldn't figure out how to do anything in the game because it literally did not tell you anything at all. So, yeah. Actually, Pit People was another game I played this year. It was a really good game. I liked it a lot. It was kind of like a turn-based, it was a turn-based RPG, where you have like a squad of people, and it's like this board, and you move around them on the board, and like you go up to people and attack them, and if you win you get like treasure and gold and stuff like that. It was made by the Behemoth, the same people that made like Castle Crashers and stuff like that. It was a good game, but like since it was early access, it didn't have much to it or much to play. I haven't played it since like the end of summer of 2017, so I haven't really been able to see how they developed the game since then. But I know that they have new stuff. But yeah, I've heard other people liked it, and so I got it. I liked it a lot. I'm just like still waiting for like a couple updates to come out for it to play. So yeah. Now we're on to February. Now let me see if there are any games that came out during February that I played. For Honor. Gosh, that game was a complete mess when it came out. I saw For Honor during like E3 and stuff like that when they showed it, and my friend convinced me to get it because he said he was really good. The game was really good when it came out.
Oh, nice.
But like I played it, it was like really bad.
Alright.
it was like, or at least like the combat wasn't bad, obviously, because that's what the entire game is focused around. So like they had to refine the rest of the rest of the game would be shit. But for For Honor, gosh, on day one, and not just day one, like for multiple months, like the servers were such garbage. Holy crap, the servers were such garbage. Like you couldn't get into a match, or at least if you did get into a match, there's like a 90% chance like you would lag out of the match and you won't be able to get back in it. And it was stupid because this was a AAA title that they released, and they knew a bunch of people were gonna play it, and it was just so bad. And the single player wasn't that good, but the main focus was the multiplayer, so whatever. And I went back to a couple months ago because hoping that they would fix it, but the servers are still bad. And with like some of the new like characters and stuff they added for this game, like the Centurion, oh my gosh, Centurion is so overpowered. It's like he's stupidly overpowered, and it's like the game is broken, and someone managed to like finesse the system when they did a For Honor tournament, and he won a bunch of money because he finessed the system. And so a lot of people got mad at that. So For Honor, it definitely is not the top of my list for this year, but it was interesting to play. And I think that's all the games that I want to talk about for February, so let's move on to March. Now we're on to March. Ooh, lovely, lovely March. Lovely. I think you guys know what I'm gonna be talking about for March. Let's just see if there's anything else that I wanna talk about before I just start fucking bombing this game. Man, damn, a lot of games came out during March. Holy fuck. Holy shit. Okay, so there isn't any other games I can talk about before I go into Mass Effect. Okay. Mass Effect Andromeda. Okay, you guys have all heard, hopefully you guys have all heard the controversy from Mass Effect Andromeda. Now, I want to give you a little backstory before this. So, about 6 months before Andromeda came out, me and my brother, or at least my brother, started playing all 3 of the Mass Effect games because he heard that they were really good. And like he played a little bit of Mass Effect 1 when he was like 12, but he got really frustrated because he didn't know what to do, so he just stopped playing. And so about 6 months before the game came out, he started playing it. And after he finished like the second one, he was like, I've been playing Mass Effect series, and it's really, really good. And he started going on and on about like all the stuff in the game, like how like your choices affect the game and shit like that. And he was like, I'll buy you a subscription for EA, for the EA pass or whatever, so that you can play them, because they're really good. And I was like, sure, why not? And oh gosh, Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 were so good. Like playing with my boys, Tali and Garrus, was amazing. I put about like 30 or 40 hours in each of the games, which it isn't that much because like I didn't finish all the side quests for them. So yeah, but I just played through 1, 2, 3, and after I finished them, I was really excited for Mass Effect Andromeda because I was like, ooh, Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 were good, and Mass Effect Andromeda looks okay. So I was like, ooh, I can't wait for this. And it came out. It was such a fucking mess, dude. And this was like one of the first series I ever posted on this channel. Like I started doing like a Let's Play series, but I just couldn't bring myself to finish the game. It was just so bad. Like all the problems with those, like, you know, the facial animations were trash. Like animations in general in the game were trash. The story was complete garbage. And holy crap, the game was just so unpolished and unrefined, and like all the companions were like really not interesting at all. The game was just so bad to play. Like I couldn't bring myself to finish the series. I hated I hated that game with every bit of my fiber. The more and more I played it, I was like, wow, this game is complete garbage. I haven't touched it since. And this was a $60 AAA game, and they just completely screwed it up. This is the Mass Effect trilogy series. I mean, we're talking about here, like one of the biggest game franchises in the world, and they just completely just bombed it. They didn't give it to the main company to do it. They gave it to BioWare Montreal or whatever. They gave it to some like side company to do the game, and holy shit, it definitely showed that it was a side company, not a main company. Gosh, I was so excited for this game. Me and my brother were so excited to play this game. It was so bad. Gosh, dude. March was fucking terrible month for me. Whatever. Put the series on ice and not gonna talk about it. Whatever. It's time to move on. Fucking April. Fuck me, dude. Now we're on to April. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I heard, I didn't play Persona 5, but I heard from a lot of people who played it that it was probably the best Persona game out of all of them. And a lot of people like really liked Persona 5. Like apparently like this is like one like really good JRPG. It was like super amazing. It's like a lot of people liked it. So like that was like one of the bigger games of this year, because like it was just like fantastic to people or whatever. And that's all I have to say about it. For the Stardew Valley game, I didn't get the collector's edition. I got the normal edition when it came out, but that's besides the point. I got it this year, and I played it this year for the first time, and it's such a good game. Stardew Valley, like, it's like the perfect game for me, because I love games. I love like farming games, like survival games, and like Stardew Valley isn't necessarily a survival game, but it is as like the technical term for the like Euro game, kind of like games like that. And it was such a good game. I loved it. I played it for so many hours, just like it was such a good game. And like I've always loved games like that, like I forgot what the predecessor to it was called. Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon was really good because I got a ROM for it. The GBA emulator. I played Harvest Moon, and that was such a good game too. It was like, Stardew Valley was such a good game. I loved it. And Ukulele was another game that I didn't play this month for April, and I heard. Like, it was, like, mixed reviews. Like, some people were saying it's really bad, and some people were saying it's, like, really good. Like, but a lot of people were, like, we spent, like, $2 or $3 million. Like, they spent $2 or $3 million making this game, and it's just a mediocre game. What is this shit? And it's, like, I heard the most problems with the game was, like, I don't know, it was just, like, bland, I guess, to people. And it's, like, so, like, that was probably one of the bigger disappointments of this year, because, like, you know, it's a $2 or $3 million game. Better be good. So, whatever. That seems like all the games that came out for April that I shall be discussing. So, let's move on to May. Now we're on to May. May. So for May, I think there are a couple of games I want to talk about here. Like, Prey was one of the games I wanted to talk about here, because I played the demo for Prey, like the 1 hour demo they released for it, and I really like Prey. Like, my favorite part about it was like the little like glue gun or whatever you could use to like basically make your own passageway to wherever you wanted it. And I really liked playing Prey for the little time I had it. It was really good. And I also heard that like from a lot of other people that it was a great game. Like the only thing that was kind of bad about it was the ending. And like Bethesda, most of their games are pretty good. Like right now, they haven't had a very good rep because of the Recreation Club, which I'm not very fond of. But we just kind of ignore that. We just kind of act like it's not there. So whatever. I just want to mention Prey. I played it. It was pretty good. I liked it a lot. So Friday the 13th, the game, I got it when it came out. I got the... Actually, no, I want to have my little story with this. So I planned on making a video for Friday the 13th where I, like, in the beginning for the intro, it would show me waiting till midnight and then buying the game at midnight, but I couldn't do the video because, like, it didn't get released on the actual Xbox store until, like, till a couple of days after that. The only way I managed to get the day it came out was because, like, some guy had it on his, like, activity feed, and you could click on the game to go to the store, and then you could buy it. Like, it was really stupid, but for Friday the 13th, it was a really good game, but it had a lot of issues with the servers. The servers were so just fucking garbage, and I think the problem with that was that a lot of people played it. Like, a ton of people played Friday the 13th. And, like, if you go on the Xbox, like, looking for groups option for Friday the 13th, there are just dozens and dozens of posts for, playing, Friday the 13th. It was a really good game. And whenever you got to play as Jason, like, the game was just 10 times better. It was a really good game. I like playing it a lot, especially when I play as Jason. It was one of my favorites this year. And that's all the games that came out that I want to talk about for May. So let's move on to June. So let's look in June, see if there are any games that came out during June that are of any interest I can talk about. Let's see. Yes, the Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap. So I played Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap. It was a really good game. I got the remastered version, obviously, and it was a really good game. It was, like, super fun to play. It was, like, super fucking hard to get through some of the parts, though. But it was a really enjoyable game to play because it was just, like, so simplistic, and, like, the nice puzzles during the game were just really fun to do. And like you could, like, switch the audio to be either, like, modernized or retro, or you could switch the visuals to be modernized visual, or modernized or retro. So, like, you could have modern graphics and retro audio, and, like, you know, the opposite of that, and so forth, so on and so forth. And it was a really good game. I liked it a lot. Like, it was a good game. I liked it. It was fun to play. I want to mention that game when I saw it. The Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Okay, so I didn't, this is another one of the games that I didn't play this year, but, like impacted the year, like, a little bit this year, because holy crap, like, it was, like, so insanely popular for everybody to play. It was, like, and, like, I heard, like, it was really good, too. So, not only was it, like, it's, like, an old retro game that, like, what was it, Activision, of all people, reviving the game, like, Activision of all people reviving the game. It was, like, super good and, like, fun to play as, and, like, when it came to physical sales this year, it just fucking just destroyed any record any game had, before it came out and after it came out. Like, I think Crash Bandicoot was at the top of the chart for, like, physical sales. It was a pretty popular game. And that seems like all of the games that I want to talk about for July. So, I mean, not July, June. So let's move on to July. Now we're moving on to July, and I'll be seeing if there's any games I want to talk about for July. Okay, one of the first games that came out for July was Fable Fortunes. Now I did
one damage and
about
one health,
two videos about Fable Fortunes. I think I deleted them or
and
like
at the end
pirated
of the
them.
turn he dies.
I like Fable Fortunes a lot. It's like a Hearthstone game, like, you know, where you like get cards and like you
and that's it.
use your deck to fight.
And each of these cards has their own unique abilities.
Make your own
like,
deck and stuff like that with
all
cards
of them
again.
have,
Like,
different
you know,
damage
you can
and
get
health
cards
and
to pack and stuff like that. It was a fun game. It had the unique system of
and
whenever you did a
game's very
specific goal,
hard to use.
when you're playing the actual game, you could either choose to have your character become good or
What is that
evil,
one?
and like depending on which
Your
one you choose, you would have certain traits. And so, you know, like obviously they had different characters, different abilities. Fable Fortunes, it was really good. I loved Fable Fortunes. It was it was a good game. It was a good game that came out this year. Definitely not my like top 5 list or anything like that, but it was pretty decent game for just being like kind of like copy paste for Hearthstone. Okay, Fortnite. Okay, so I bought the Fortnite early access package, which I bought the early access package before the battle royale mode came out for it, and I didn't like the here I'll be playing the battle royale in the PvE package for it, but I didn't really like the PvE package for Fortnite. It wasn't really that good, but I know a lot of people that do like the PvE mode for it, but I didn't personally like it. I thought it was kind of like boring and stuff like that. But, you know, just a waste of $40. But like when the battle royale mode came out, they didn't say they were making the game free, so I was like, well, at least I have like this like kind of PUBG clone until the game comes out. And then they announced it was gonna be free. I was like, well, that was a waste of money. And so, gosh, dude. Like, I really liked the Battle Royale mode, but once PUBG came out, I switched to PUBG, and I think PUBG's better than Fortnite. And a lot of people in my school, like, it's kind of a kind of dividing war between Fortnite and PUBG players. But yeah, the Battle Royale mode is insanely popular. It's still insanely popular, and it was just such a big game this year, along with PUBG. Like, those were probably two of the biggest games this year, so yeah. And that's all the games for July. Now I think we'll be moving on to August. Okay, now we're on to August. Okay. Ooh, Batman Episode 1, The Enigma. So, a little after Episode 1 came out, I got The Enemy Within, Episode 1, and it was really good. It was really good. It's probably one of my favorite Telltale games series, like, because I got Season 1, and, like, it was like, superbly good. And so, I got The Enemy Within, a little after it came out, when it was on sale. And so I got it, and it, like, season 2 is really good so far. It's just the fact that when I got to the end of episode 1, the game crashed and I lost all my progress for it. So I was like, oh, that's kind of infuriating. But whatever. And so I managed to get through episode 1 without crashing. And then I got to episode 2, and I got all the way to the end of episode 2, and then the game crashed and I lost all my progress again. And I got super mad at the game. I just couldn't stand it. I just couldn't stand it, because, like, I played episode 1 twice, and I played through episode 2 once, and to do all that progress of going through episode 1 again and then episode 2 again, it was so just infuriating. And then after I heard that there was a problem with the season pass, and I was like, well, that's stupid. And so I got really mad with the game. It was so stupid. I lost all that progress for nothing. So I haven't played it since, even since episode 3 came out. I haven't touched it since because, honestly, like, I don't want to lose. I don't want to play through the game and then lose a bunch of progress. So I just not gonna play it until I hear something about the game being fixed. So, ooh, City Skylines. Okay, I'll talk about this. So, one weekend on the Xbox One, they released City Skylines, for like a free weekend, for like, you know, the entire weekend it'll be free. And so I played it, and the entire weekend, that was the only game I played that entire weekend. And I really like City Skylines. It was so good. Like I said about Stardew Valley, I really like Euro games and stuff like that. Like that, I love games like that. And so City Skylines, it was so good. I spent so many hours playing it, and I considered buying it, but I held back just because like there are other games that I want to save my money for to buy. But City Skylines was, oh boy, it was a fun game to play. I liked it a lot. It put a smile on my face. Okay, we're gonna be talking about Ark Survival Evolved, I guess. Okay. So, I don't know if you know this, but I put about 6 days into Ark, like, you know, 6 actual days, like 24 hours, 6 days. And so, like, 6 times 24. I think I've actually put in more since then, like 7 days. But Ark is one of my favorite games, and I got it in like 2016 when it was still in the early access. But I think I can, like, you know, I think I can say it's on my top list for 2017 since it technically came out, officially released this year. So yeah, Ark Survival, it's such a good game. I love Ark to death. That's why I put 7 days into it. And recently the Aberration expansion came out for it, and it was like, out of all the expansions and like all the maps, I mean, for it, like this, out of like the Center, Ragnarok, and Scorched Earth, and like, you know, the original Ark, the island, and Aberration is probably my favorite like map thing that they released for it. It was so good. It added so many interesting things to the game that made it like so much more different. And it is probably like one of my favorite. It's probably one of my favorite games that came out this year. It was really good. I liked it a lot. Okay, so that's all that's all the games I want to talk about for August. So let's move on to September. So let's move on to September here to talk about some games here. I know that there's at least one game I want to talk about. And there it is. There it is. Okay. So, Destiny 2. I'll talk about that for a little bit. Me and my friends were game sharing for a little bit, and one of them decided to get Destiny 2. And I played Destiny 2. I played the beta as well. And oh my gosh, it was so miserable to play. It was so just, oh my gosh, it was such a disaster, and it still is a disaster to play. It was so bad, and my friend was like so excited for it, and for some reason he likes the game, but like, I don't know, I'll let it slide. He has his own fucking taste, whatever. Yeah, he says Skyrim is a really bad game, but whatever. Anyway, about Destiny 2, gosh, there's so much controversy, like a little bit with like some of the microtransactions in the game. At least they're not getting like, you know, loot crates that have like guns and exotics in it and stuff like that. But even when my friend, he gave me his account back a couple months later, even though he had like the $100 version of Destiny, I still didn't want to download it. It's like, no, I don't want to play Destiny 2. It is a bad game. I hate it. And like, I hated Destiny 1. It's like, I hate Destiny 2. It was such a disaster. And, you know, hopefully it'll get better. But whatever, probably won't. Ooh, buddy, we're about to do this. Oh, buddy. So, Cuphead, you guys all know, the whole thing with Cuphead about how I made a tutorial for almost every boss. I did every boss for World 3, or almost every boss for World 3, and then I stopped doing that. I know I still need to go back and do it, but whatever. Anyway, so for Cuphead, gosh, Cuphead is probably like my favorite game this year. Cuphead is such an amazing game. It's so good. I hope that they release like a Cuphead expansion or DLC, or they start developing like a second one, because oh my gosh, it is such a great game, and it's the game that got me up to 10,000 views and stuff like that, and up to 100 subscribers. So I want to say thank you for that, first of all. And oh my gosh, Cuphead is so good. I gush about it forever. Like, I love the art style, I love the gameplay, I love all the bosses, I love the music in the game. Oh my gosh, I could just go on forever about Cuphead. Cuphead is oh, it's so good. I love this game. And that is all the games for September. So looks like we're gonna be moving on to October, the month of my birthday. So now we're moving on to October, see if there's anything here that I want to talk about, and there we go. Okay, so I want to talk about Middle-earth Shadow of War for a little bit, okay? So I planned on making a video for Middle-earth Shadow of War. It just didn't come to light for it, so whatever. Anyway, that's besides the point. I really liked Middle-earth Shadow of War. It was really good. I liked it a lot, and like I loved Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. Like I love both those games to death. It's just like the thing that ruined it for me was obviously the big like loot box thing. They added loot boxes in a single player RPG. Like, how could you get more disgusting than that? Whatever. Anyway, so oh gosh, it was a disaster. But I liked Middle-earth Shadow of War. It was a really good game. I liked it a lot. It was really fun to play. Like, the combat was fun. It was fun and fluid, and like all the different things they added and like update and tweaked for Middle Earth. It was really good. I liked it a lot. It was like the only thing bad about it was the microtransactions. Whatever. So that seems like all the games I want to talk about for October. So it looks like we're gonna be moving on to No Nut November. So here we are in November, and I know that there's at least one game I want to talk about that for November. I know that there's at least one game I want to talk about it. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so there are two games I want to talk about here. They're right next to each other. So Star Wars Battlefront 2, it was a good game. I made a video for it not too long ago, but Star Wars Battlefront 2, it's a fun game. It honestly, like without all the microtransactions and like all the loot box stuff and star cards, it would be a perfect game. But because EA wore down the game with microtransactions, loot boxes, star cards, they just like basically made it pay to win. It ruined the game. It just ruined it. It was terrible. And like with the hero situation, at least they fixed that, but that's not anything compared to the microtransactions. And this Battlefront 2 has probably been the most significant game for 2017 because it made a lot of changes concerning microtransactions and stuff like that. It made so many changes concerning them. And that's a good thing, but it's just sad that Battlefront 2 had to be the one to take the bullet for everybody. Because it's such a good game. I love Battlefront 2. I love Galactic Assault and Starfire Assault. Those are two very, very good game modes. But like I said, they just bogged it down with the microtransactions, and it just completely ruined it. And for Skyrim, I just want to comment on this for a little bit. Obviously, I played Skyrim, put over 10, 11 days into Skyrim. I know it doesn't sound like much, but whatever. Anyway, gosh, dude, there's a lot of controversy after they announced the one for Switch and after it came out for the Switch, because basically you can play Skyrim and anything, kind of like Minecraft. Like, you can just play Skyrim on your fucking toaster, because I wouldn't be surprised if Bethesda released it for a toaster, because they just keep milking the franchise. Like, how long did the game come out? As of right now, it came out about like 7 years ago. 7 years ago, and they're still milking the game to this day. It is absurd how long they have been just milking Skyrim. They're just beating a dead horse at this point. It's just, whew, boy, they've been milking this game for such a long time. And that's all the games I want to talk about for November. So let's move on to Destroy Dick December. So let's move on to the last month of 2017, December, and talk about a couple of games here. So let's see if there's any games I can talk about here. There's no game I have played in December. There's no game I played in December, so that's that. Actually, there was one game I did want to talk about for December. I forgot about it until I finished recording. But there was one game I want to talk about, and that was PUBG. PUBG, it's a really good game. Ever since my friends got it, that's the only game I've been playing. And I made a video about PUBG a couple weeks ago, and oh my gosh, I love PUBG so much. It's a insanely good game. I don't know why they didn't have it on their list for all the games that came out this year, but whatever, whatever. But I really like PUBG. It was such a good game, and like clearly by all the success I had this year, a lot of other people liked it too. But yeah, that was probably another one of my favorite games that came out this year. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that before I end this video off. And I've never played PUBG before, but I just want to wrap this up by saying 2017 was a good and bad year. It was a disappointing year as well, because, you know, all the microtransactions. It was good because some of the amazing games that came out, like Cuphead, Ark, and actually, and you know, Ark and stuff like that. Like there's some really good games this year, but there are also some like really bad games this year, like Mass Effect Andromeda. Like, I completely forgot about that game until I went through this list. I completely just left that game out of my mind until I went through that list. I just want to forget about it. And there are some mediocre games that came out this year, like Star Wars Battlefront 2. I love Star Wars Battlefront 2. It's just like it got ruined because of the microtransactions and stuff like that. But whatever. 2017 was a good and bad year. It was a disappointing year as well. It was a mixed bag, really. And so that's all I really want to talk about. I just want you to go through the year, just reminisce through that the entire year, just think about some of the games that came out this year, talk about them. So, you know. And this was just a little thing, a little list or whatever of games that I played. Or games that were significant this year. So, whatever. This being ukpancakes. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.